Hello everyone and welcome to Mountain Lake Journal. I'm Tom Halleck. This week, the bag ban. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo says the average family uses about 1,500 of these every single year, which really adds up. Across New York, that's more than 23 billion bags every single year, many of them ending up in landfills or the environment. Which is why this year, when lawmakers and the governor hammered out their budget deal, it included a ban on single-use plastic bags. And just this past week on Earth Day, the governor signed that new ban into law.
You see them blowing down the streets, you see them in landfills, you see them in our waterways all over. I've been fishing 40 miles out to sea and I found plastic bags. They're everywhere. And there's no doubt that they're doing tremendous damage. And this bag will outlive all of us in this room.
The new law, set to take effect March 1st, 2020, applies to single-use plastic bags used by many retailers. The governor says the new law is a significant step to help reduce pollution and protect fish and wildlife.
By 2050, there will be more plastic by weight in the oceans than fish. Just think about that. How frightening is that?
Under the law, local counties have the option of imposing a 5-cent fee on paper bags as well. The whole idea is to get more of us to use these reusable bags. Earth Day, by the way, started nearly a half-century ago in 1970 to help call attention to pressing environmental issues. And that's something students at Plattsburgh High School are continuing to do to this day. Over the past decade, the Green Team at Plattsburgh High School has been working to reduce the school's carbon footprint.
I thought Green Team was a really great opportunity in our school to get involved with the environment and make an impact. As a student, you kind of feel like you can't do a lot.
But the students at Plattsburgh High are learning they can get their classmates to be more green.
They're making a change too, and they should feel happy about it because you're expanding the lifespan of the earth, possibly.
People don't always realize this, but the environment impacts everything. It impacts where you live, how you live.
Students meet once a week to talk about how environmental problems impact their community.
Youth are the key to solving the climate crisis. They're the last generation that will be able to do anything to stop climate change, and so they take that responsibility very seriously.
The Green Team has helped push for solar-powered cell phone chargers, reusable water bottle filling stations, composting, and a fruit donation station. And walking down the halls, you can see their next project, cutting down on plastics.
We have posters all up around the school about straws, like how straws are bad, and we've reduced the amount of straws this year so much from how many straws we used last year. It's nice because if one person doesn't use a straw and like 800 people didn't use one straw, and that's 800 straws that weren't used. So if one person doesn't do it, then it's going to affect everything. Because if multiple people don't do it, then it will make a change. So that's what we're trying to get across to the school.
First straws and now utensils. The team is working with the school board to switch to metal forks, spoons, and knives from the current plastic ones.
Well, that stuff never breaks down, and if we start small, then maybe we could get it bigger, like around the state.
And their efforts seem to be working, even helping students who aren't in the club to think a little bit more about sustainability.
Everybody has to make an individual change to make a big impact. So when I see people like following through with that and doing their part, it makes me happy.
The Plattsburgh High Green Team is also meeting with local leaders to try to implement these changes citywide, including getting the City Council to join more than 250 other communities across New York in signing a pledge to use more renewable energy and to take steps to mitigate climate change.
When you do this, you pledge that you're going to take meaningful steps toward reducing carbon emissions in city operations. And you make a plan, you have to cover 10 areas, and as you complete different actions, like for example, take auditing as the first thing you do. You audit your current energy consumption. And then you make a plan to reduce your energy consumption. Particularly now that scientists have recognized that we have a very short window of time, a very compressed window, like maybe 12 years, to take significant steps. So we're at a crisis level right now, and I think that worldwide people are beginning to understand that we need decisive and urgent action.
Many of the ideas from the Green Team and Climate Smart Pledge are part of a new energy plan announced by Mayor Colin Reed this week to help the city of Plattsburgh reduce its carbon footprint and conserve energy. Even though the city already uses a lot of green, renewable hydropower, the mayor says the city will offer rebates and incentives to encourage homeowners and businesses to upgrade heating and cooling systems, to use less electricity, or install solar power. He says cutting energy use will allow the city the option of offering more of its low-cost electricity to attract new businesses and industry.
So if we can make our houses more efficient and then heat our houses more efficiently, we can lower the amount of electricity we use. And that can then translate into jobs for us all, because then we've got a greater quota of unused electricity we can use to stimulate manufacturing to come into the city.
The city will also look into using electric cars in its fleet of city vehicles. Climate change, by the way, is also on the minds of volunteers who spent this past winter out in the woods looking for signs of an invasive insect that has found its way to the Adirondacks. If it spreads, many worry the hemlock woolly adelgid could kill millions of hemlock trees throughout the Adirondack Park. As scientists and environmentalists work to combat it, the woolly adelgid may be getting some help from nature. The warming winters we are experiencing here in the Adirondacks could help this forest pest survive. You can watch our story online at mountainlake.org.
This story is part of Peril and Promise, a national initiative exploring the impact of climate change here in the Adirondacks and around the world. And join us this coming June for Sinking Cities, a Peril and Promise special series examining the effects of climate change on 4 major coastal cities.